Ladies and gentlemen, it's Peridiam, and let's cut to the chase. I want to talk about the pre-jury phase on Big Brother, especially considering we are now out of the dark, dank woods in the current season, and the climate was rather not great. Why do I want to talk about the pre-jury? Well, because I don't think it gets that much love, and I don't know when I'm going to really get the chance to talk about it next, so let's just go for it. When I assess seasons of Big Brother or Survivor, I like to segment the show into several phases: the pre-jury, the post-jury, and the finale. The pre-jury is perhaps the least remembered and some would argue least important part to any season, and I would probably agree. I've argued before that it's not how you start, but how you finish, and if you start the show on a high note, only to then peter off toward the end, you're gonna hear a lot less from the fans about that season than one with a strong second half and an explosive finale.
Congratulations everybody on making it to Final 5. That is a huge accomplishment in Big Brother.
But here's the kicker. Big Brother often starts really strong. In fact, I will just say this right now. BB21 feels a bit like an anomaly because it was really cold out of the gate. And it didn't really pick up that much heat at all for many of the pre-jury weeks. Not even some of my least favorite seasons could have that held against them. I find it difficult to gauge how good a season will be with the first few weeks of any pre-jury phase, knowing that the possibilities and shifting variables are at their most frenetic in the early weeks. Lots of things can happen because there are lots of things in the house to make those things happen at all. There's just a lot of moving parts, and it's really exciting to watch. And then as the parts start disappearing, the show starts to lose a little bit of steam. So while we're here, let's talk about what I believe are the 5 greatest pre-jury phases in Big Brother US history. I'm strictly talking about the parts of the season where it's from episode 1 until right before the jury begins, which then also means that Big Brother 2 and 3 won't be in this video. And no, I'm not going to count Justin leaving in Big Brother 2. Get your troll votes out of here. So here's number 5. Times that by 2. What do you get? Yep, it's Big Brother 10.
I love this game. This is just how great.
I have enough votes to where I can do whatever I want, and nobody's gonna have to try to take me down.
By a vote of 9-1, Brian.
Now, I'm not oblivious to the fact that BB10 is a really popular season and that it is really the middle stretch that I think elevates the season to elite tier. But lest we not forget the beautiful tragedy that was week 1 through week 4, starting off with the absolute blindside, like Indiana Jones starring as Brian Hart, while the entire house was the massive boulder. Brian gets blindsided and just straight flushed out of the game in one of the most ridiculous ways possible. I just want to appreciate the scene where 75% of the house has to hide upstairs and then ambush Jerry, who is the HOH, in passing to all throw Brian's name under the bus, or boulder. It also leads to a fantastic sock puppet performance. Brian died so Dan could get his wings and fly. Jesse wins HOH in week 2 and Steven is having none of it. Doesn't even go up to the HOH room upon the reveal. Steven, beyond bad gameplay, that is ice cold. It's like a Big Brother faux pas. You are asking to get evicted. Oh, and then he was evicted. Not before Dan threw the veto, of course, back when throwing a competition actually meant something. Not really, but then Keisha decides to put together a faction and target the big alliance in week 3, leading us to Angie getting the boot. This is where the cracks begin to manifest themselves, and once Angie goes, we all get the well-known wall comp with Coach Dan giving his little speeches.
The hairstylist from New Orleans. You can show the world right now. Now get out there and go kick their ass! Rhode Island, smallest state in the nation. It's small for a reason, because they're weak. Or you can say, hey, I'm putting Rhode Island on the map right now. I can't do it for you. Ali can't do it for you. Michelle can't do it for you. April's got to make the decision that no way in hell am I letting go.
April wins this last HOH of the pre-jury and promises to Michelle not to target Jesse. And then, of course, she nominates Jesse. Because the best way to guarantee someone's safety is to make their odds of survival drop to 50% in less than 24 hours. Lest we forget, this is also the week of Keisha's birthday, the infamous birthday I covered in my unintentional funny moments not long ago. The entire drama between who should get evicted, Jesse or Memphis, ultimately splitting the house down the middle, a recurring theme in this video by the way, spoilers, is both hilarious and ridiculous. It is literally Heliculus. And somehow it all falls to Coach Dan, the quiet guy in the middle of it all, just reading his Bible, minding his own business to make the right call. But in actuality, he was America's player for 1 week, so it was America's call. Not that Dan needed it, but still, the timing. I'm a fan of this pre-jury, and I think these reasons pretty much explain why. Number 4. One word. Devin. Oh, Devin, the shepherd, the OG Messiah, the bringer of all things good feeds and great TV. Gone too soon, but also gone just in time to make this pre-jury in my top 5. It is Big Brother 16, obviously, with the bomb squad, the detonators, Donnie being a total liar about his profession, Caleb being super creepy with Amber, Frankie being a social media mogul, and the birth of arguably the single greatest game ever played in Big Brother history. That is, of course, Derek Levasseur. Now, don't get me wrong, BB16 pre-jury kicked off one of my least favorite twists ever, the Battle of the Boring the Block. Not a fan of it, and it persisted like a bad growth for too long, like Redemption Island, kind of. Or The Edge. It's just not a fan favorite no matter how many times you tell us it is, Julie. We get one of the most often recalled nomination speeches, Fruit Loop Dingus. We get Devin, of course, like I just said, blowing up the bomb squad and his game with one of the most abysmal HOH reigns I have ever seen.
Zach just told me everything that I need to know. I know who the weak link in this alliance is, and right now my trust is broken.
Powell, Brittany up there, who you voting out?
Dude, whatever.
No. Powell and Brittany up there, who you voting out?
It doesn't matter to me. I don't wait. I feel like you're like pissed at me for some
No,
reason.
I don't trust you right now.
And if you want to put me on the block, do it.
Bro, that didn't
Put me right there,
That didn't even
and-
cross my mind. You just said it just now.
Okay, well, I'm telling you.
I never liked Devin in the first place. He hit me with the first jab. That gives Zach Attack the green light to come back with an uppercut, and I played dirty. I'm going below the belt.
You're a huge liar, dude. You called a house meeting, crying over your daughter. I would never compromise my honesty or integrity for any amount of money. And you do just that every single day since.
Perfect, dude.
This pre-jury was pretty dang lit, and I want to particularly give it credit because I think a lot of what follows is a little less lit. Like a flickering flame being snuffed out for any hope the season would be able to maintain its explosive and dynamic gameplay from the first few weeks. I think the highs of Big Brother 16 in the pre-jury are more consistent than Big Brother 10, but not consistent enough to put it in my top 3. But Devin Shepard will not be denied his dues.
A lot of theories have been talked about of what Donnie does for a living.
I think he has something to do with Harvard. He wears all that camo gear. I have no idea what he does. What does he do?
He is a groundskeeper.
Number 3. If you asked me to put up my top 5 most underrated seasons of Big Brother, I would strongly consider my number 3 to be in that video. And that's because it is Big Brother 11. This was the Brayden, Laura, Casey, and Ronnie evictions, which were nothing shy of just falling into a pit of madness week after week after week. I'm a fan of this pre-jury because of how intense the entire month is. The house is divided right down the middle in week 1, with Brayden, who was pretty terrible all around, gets evicted by a vote of 6-5. Ronnie is playing this rat floater game, and of course he goes on to win HOH in week 2, targeting the losing side with Jeff, Jordan, and the eventual evicted player, Laura. In week 2, we get one of the most one-sided fights in BB history as well, with Ronnie as the HOH versus pretty much the entire house. Russell goes ballistic on him, and everyone vows to bury his game at light speed.
Everything you said to me is a complete lie. You have been lying to everyone in this house. You are the rat, and we figured it out, and you got caught. It's just the way it works. He's sitting up there locked himself in his room because he doesn't want to fight a whole fiery squad because he knows he's not going to win. Why are you locking yourself in the room if you're right?
Should have put his ass out.
Jesse repeats as the HOH and doesn't target Ronnie, instead gets Casey in a banana suit out. Again, it's a really tense week with one of the goofier, likable guys taking an early hit. But it's in week 4 that we finally see the pre-jury come to a close with Russell winning HOH, putting Ronnie on blast again and on the block, and manages to get 4 of the 7 votes to have him evicted. I like this pre-jury because it tells a great first act to a season. It's largely focused around Ronnie, and Ronnie wasn't a likable character. So to see him finally go feels like a nice bow on the overall madness that was the beginning act of BB11. And I think it's appropriately at number 3.
I'm a man in a banana suit. Man in a banana suit. Banana suit at night, banana suit all day. Banana suit at work, banana suit at man in a banana suit.
Number 2. For a while, my number 2 was actually my number 1. But until recently, I decided to bump it down just one notch. I still worship at the feet of this season and its pre-jury in particular, and it's widely regarded as one of the best seasons. I'm talking about the pressure cooker of all pressure cookers, Big Brother 6. Similar to BB11, BB6 had a house split right down the middle, and it is the first act of the season in this pre-jury that really sets the stage for the latter 2/3 to unfold. Mind you, the first few weeks of BB6 weren't actually that divided. Ashleigh, Janelle's secret partner, was knocked out of the house in a 9-2 vote. The first week was pretty tame compared to literally every other week thereafter. And it's week 2 where the drama begins, starting first with Michael, Kaser's bro, really pissing off Eric, or Cappy. Cappy is the HOH, and he is not a fan of Michael because Michael is kind of rubbing some of the women in the house the wrong way, sometimes quite literally. We get some serious drama this week too between Cappy, Michael, Kaser, and Yvette. It gets real ugly. The ugliest it's ever been in BB history through 6 seasons, and really, even to this day, it's still some of the most heated drama I've ever seen. And with Michael getting evicted in week 2, you of course get the oh-so-lovely pendulum swing with Kaser winning HOH in week 3 and deciding to backdoor Cappy. Revenge really is a dish best served on an oversized chessboard, isn't it? Kaser delivers one of the greatest lines in all of the show, and really all of humankind, when Maggie confronts him after this veto in week 3 and realizes what's really going down.
On the chessboard was when I discovered what was going on.
Kaser, you're next. You have 30 seconds to make your move.
I truly believe you that it's not personal.
It's not.
But you know the game just got really nasty. You sealed my fate.
No. I sealed your partner's fate. I caught the bigger fish.
And even better from a narrative standpoint, with Cappy leaving in a close 5-4 vote, you then get Maggie winning HOH right after in week 4 and targeting the Sov 6. She definitely gets Kaser evicted, this time serving revenge off the literal chessboard, knocking a major player from the game. But we then get one of the best moves ever made by a player in BB history. Maggie miss Howie into targeting his own alliance to procure safety the following week. It is such a bad move, and it's all because of Maggie schooling this cast on how to really play the game. And then Kaser comes back, which was one of my favorite moments way back when, and then gets evicted the same week, which wasn't one of my favorite moments way back when. But in this week, it is the pressure cooker endurance HOH, which was one of the greatest, if not the greatest competition ever held in Big Brother history, and it truly sets the stakes for the second act of this season and what follows after. The betrayal of the friendship, pulling a fast one on the Sovs, backstabbing Kaser after they made a deal to keep him safe, it really gives this season even more momentum going into the jury phase, and it's very much a gold standard for what every BB season should be aiming for. And I don't really know what else to say, but that's all I gotta say about BB6. It is number 2.
So, Jenny, I have your word.
And we're backdooring James. So we're all after James.
You swear on your life?
Swear on my life.
Hey, Jenny.
Number 1. Well, I won't be surprising you guys, don't worry. Part of the reason why I want to make this video is because I wanted to appreciate what we just had now that we don't have it anymore. Number 1, the greatest pre-jury in the history of Big Brother, it's Big Brother 20. Of course. Now, some of you might say this might be recency bias on my part, but I've had a lot more time to digest this season over the past year, and I still think that the BB20 pre-jury portion is the greatest pre-jury phase of any BB season thus far. Every week delivered on some level, be it 6 or otherwise. We had the largest split vote in 7-6 in just week 1 that came down to the last second, a moment's notice, with Caitlyn flipping on her own alliance to evict Steve instead of Sam. You then get the flip vote, Caitlyn, the one person that this first week all came down to, unintentionally winning HOH in week 2, only to then see a brutal backdoor, a betrayal in some cases, of Swaggy C Again, a really difficult decision to make. The house is split down the middle and lines are drawn, and yet the Faute side never really fully seems to know where the line is. Who the hell keeps flipping on these votes? Of course, in week 2, Scotty throws his vote away, and then he wins HOH, of all people. And he successfully gets out one of his 2 adversaries in the Bros, except not exactly the right one. Again, another split vote, 6-5. Who is flipping? Sam then randomly wins HOH, not a robot this time, and puts an end to this madness by basically becoming the madness herself after she takes out Caitlyn, but not before Fessy wins veto after promising to use the veto on both of the nominees. Why he won this veto, I'm not sure, but man oh man was it juicy to watch unfold. And then the puzzle happens. I'm
sorry, Caitlyn. You have lost the bonus life. Unfortunately, your time in the Big Brother house is officially over.
And then the pendulum just keeps swinging. Notice a trend, and Bailey wins HOH, targets level 6, except despite hitting her mark, she still tells one of her 2 marks about her power, which spells her own demise, and somehow, yet again, the vote is split 5-4, the unintended target goes home, and seriously, what the hell is wrong with Angela?
I'm sorry, Rachel, but you're going home.
What the frick? What?
Please don't curse. Please don't curse.
What?
Final thoughts? What are you thinking?
What's wrong with Angela?
BB20's pre-jury is nothing shy of the best a BB pre-jury can ever get. Probably a little bit frustrating if you are a Faute fan, but there was a lot of unintended comedy there, and I appreciate the ability to take it all in stride after the fact. BB20 was a roller coaster through this first act, and I am so glad I got to write it live moment by moment. And that's it. That is my top 5 greatest pre-juries in Big Brother. Perhaps a bit debatable, but I think each of these 5 have something to offer regardless of what happened next in the season once the jury began. I also think it's just interesting to isolate what I think to be the top 5 and then to figure out what exactly makes the pre-jury so good, and also to consider what happened next in that season and then why was it good or not good compared to this pre-jury. Either way, whether you are a friendshipper, a Soviet, a Fautian, or 6 levels above the ground or beneath it, my name is still Peridiam saying I hope you enjoyed this random subject of a video. Don't forget to keep your finger on that button on the way out, and I will see you in the next one once you know what, forget it. Forget HOH. I really could use a lifetime subscription to Netflix, actually. Sorry, guys.
I was so mad when I saw Janelle got a membership to Netflix.
Martini bar!
Oh, you got it! Drake, of all people, Bo has the liquor.
You little booty booty!
I kind of don't remember what I did in the box. That was pretty smashed.
You're an alcoholic.
You are an alcoholic!